A bunch of huge comedians just wrecked their reputations after performing at the Riyadh Comedy Show, paid for by the Saudi royal family. Their fans are calling them out for taking blood money because despite the fact these guys preached free speech and anti-elite values for years, these comedians conveniently ignored the fact that Saudi Arabia has no free speech and has imprisoned and even killed people for criticizing their government. They won't even allow you to make jokes at the expense of their government. For example, the comedian Tim Dillon originally accepted the offer, but was fired after the Saudis found clips of him joking about their usage of slavery.
My agent called me and he goes, they heard what you said about them having slaves. And I said, I was being positive about it. I was defending them.
And that's why people are so angry about this, because they weren't just doing a show in a different country. They were participating in a paid PR parade where they willingly self-censored and betrayed all their values to further the interests of these people. I mean, even Bill Burr, who has spent the last year railing against billionaires and the elites, took the money in a heartbeat.
The amount of people that are struggling out there because of these billionaires. If you work a full week at a job, you should be able to pay your rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get another job and still be struggling. It's bad for the country. These billionaires, they need to be put down, you know, like rabid dogs.
Looks like the only issue with billionaires was that they weren't lining his pockets yet. Even worse, he is on record multiple times calling out other people for taking money from foreign governments.
Beyonce and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs for $1 million for Gaddafi's kids. Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make? You know, you're gonna take a gig where you're gonna go dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids, then you take that fucking blood money. Yeah, you couldn't remember that he claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans? The fuck is wrong with you? That comedy show in like Saudi Arabia, isn't that what they do? You know, that's how they raise money with their filthy oil money.
So yeah, the word shameless doesn't begin to describe it. I mean, it's almost remarkable how much this dude sold out. It goes from blood money, oh, then it starts lining his pockets, and then he goes on his podcast when he gets home, and suddenly it's top 3 experiences of his entire life.
Everything's going good, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm checking out the diplomats as I'm doing this stuff, and they're all fucking laughing. All right, so I'm gonna push a little farther, and all of a sudden I start getting in the zone. This is really amazing, and it was just this great exchange of energy, right? So the Royals loved the show. Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. Positive thing. And I got to tell you, just to be a part of that was fucking amazing. It was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had.
So yeah, this explanation did not satisfy his audience. The like to dislike ratio on this is barbecue chicken, and the comments are on his head. We got Bill Burr selling out to slavers before GTA 6. To be fair, Bill said billionaires are bad. He never said trillionaires. And this is why he's getting the most heat out of everybody who attended. He has spent the longest time LARPing as some working class hero who sticks it to the elite, but very evidently he's just like a lot of his colleagues. But it's not just him. Dave Chappelle also performed there, which wasn't too shocking, but his response was beyond embarrassing. I mean, he unironically claimed that he liked it there because it's freer to speak in Saudi Arabia than it is in America, which is just so asinine. It's beyond belief. Saudi Arabia has had an uptick in executions of dissident journalists this year, most notably Turki al-Jassar, who was locked up for many years for his crime of speaking against the government and recently had his life taken away from him. Back in 2018, you had Jamal Khashoggi, a dissident journalist who was disappeared after entering an embassy for his crime of speaking against the government. Dave Chappelle's rationale for his take was, well, right now in America, they say that if you talk about Charlie Kirk, you'll get canceled. I don't know if that's true, but I'm gonna find out. Which is insane, because he said that at a comedy festival where he contractually agreed not to criticize the Saudi government. We had other comedians expose the contract. They willingly self-censored. Yeah, it's easier to speak there because you're saying precisely what they want you to say. Also, being canceled in America does suck. I'm against cancel culture, but bro, being canceled is all that will happen to you in America if you say the wrong thing. In Saudi Arabia, they cancel your life life. They don't even give you a tombstone. They just disappear you completely. Like the two guys I mentioned prior. I understand they paid you a lot of money. Hell, I'd probably do it for a few $1,000,000. I'm a little desperate, not gonna lie. But this level of gaslighting us is too crazy, even for the check.
The rules on what they had about what you could say and what you couldn't say in Saudi Arabia, the people running the festivals will be like, all right, well, man, that's game, set, match. If this is like all you can talk about and you want some good comedians, like this isn't going to work. And then to their credit, they said, all right, what do we got to do? And they just negotiated it all the way down to like, you can talk about anything, you know, other than a couple things, which was basically religion, don't make fun of the royals. And other than that, it was all, everything was like open.
So right there, Bill Burr tries to dress it up a bit. He's like, well, we had a few revisions and it was mostly free. You just couldn't joke about the law, the politicians, the royals, the crimes, or the country at all. But hey, as long as you butter them up, it is mostly free. Like, oh my God, bro, you crack me up. This other comedian, her name is
Atsuko Okatsuka.
She released a contract that she turned down to perform at the festival, and it showed all the speech restrictions. Artists shall not prepare or perform any material that may be considered to degrade, defame, or bring into public disrepute, contempt, scandal, embarrassment, or ridicule. A, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, including its leadership, public figures, culture, or people. B, the Saudi royal family, legal system, or government. And C, any religion, religious tradition, religious figure, or religious practice. I mean, this just seems like free speech to me. I don't know why everybody is crying. It's not like the repercussions for breaking these rules would be severe or anything. Come on. I mean, is there anybody who wouldn't take this deal?
But even after doubling their initial 7-digit offer, Shane Gillis still said no.
They were asking me to go to the Middle East soon.
What? What? Where? Why?
Saudi Arabia and UAE. I think I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. Is it for the troops?
Not for the troops.
What?
It's for the Saudis.
For the Saudi princes?
Yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone's doing it. It's like, for Saudis?
Yeah.
Weren't those the 9/11 guys?
So I thought.
Aren't they exactly the 9/11 guys?
It was Iran, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's all been Iran this whole time.
All right, well, regardless of who did or didn't bring down the World Trade Center, funny how Shane Gillis is apparently one of the only comedians who still has their soul. To my knowledge, he doesn't virtue signal too much. He's just a goofy dude shooting the shit. And I think it's just a tough lesson. Like, when a celebrity takes a strong anti-populist stance, most of the time they don't actually mean it. It's just for political or financial gain. Like Bill Burr, when he went on the whole anti-billionaire thing, it really started when the whole United Healthcare CEO situation happened and it was profitable to be anti-billionaire, but then a bigger bag came along and he jumped to it immediately because that's how celebrities are. You know, everybody has a price tag. Everything is a business deal. Nobody has any real values. Sadly, it's just the name of the game, but you gotta show appreciation to those like Shane who actually do. In terms of the other comedians that I didn't talk about, like Andrew Schultz, for example, went, but with all love, that guy never seems to know, I mean, where the fuck he is. He seems perpetually confused, so I don't think anyone really cares. But with people who take strong stances on things and went behind their back, I think that's why these people are getting the most heat, because it's just the most blatant example of selling out. I think it will follow them for a while. I'll always see Bill Burr as like one of the goats of comedy, but you cannot pretend to care about anything ever again. That's all I got for y'all today. Click the video on screen right now if you enjoyed, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.